Coming up on today's show, we'll be giving our reactions to the new trailer for The Matrix Resurrections.
We'll go through this week's new releases, including Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City and Boxing Day.
Dan Layton speaks to those stars of the festive release Boxing Day.
And we've got details about a special ASMR screening coming up.
Hello and welcome to What's On at Cineworld Cinemas. I am Luke Owen.
I'm Ollie Davis.
Hey, should we talk about some Matrix? Because it's right around the corner, and you were surprised to hear that they've released a new 1 minute teaser for it called Deja Vu.
Deja vu, of course, being a Matrix thing. When deja vu happens, it's a bug in the Matrix. There's something wrong in the code.
Oh, so are you ready for this? Because you're pretty pumped for Matrix Resurrections.
The Matrix trilogy, I always used to argue at school because they came out at similar times. Everyone was on the Lord of the Rings bandwagon. And overall, maybe the consistency is slightly higher across the board of that trilogy. But I was arguing the Matrix is the defining trilogy of our generation. It didn't really pan out that way. I'd say Toy Story was in the end. But
I suppose, yeah, because even Lord of the Rings sort of soiled itself with the Hobbit trilogy, and how no one really looks as fondly on the Lord of the Rings one anymore because the Hobbit soured a few things for people.
Exactly. And Harry Potter wasn't a trilogy. That was a octology.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe look, if we do what should happen, and that is Reloaded and Revolution are one movie, and this film is actually the end of the trilogy, maybe we can reevaluate this.
But what if this is the start of a new trilogy?
I don't know what to do then. No, I've lost the battle. But anyway, I'm very excited. Matrix is one of my favorite films of all time. I think it, if anything, metaverse has become even more of a thing. Even in the 2010s, we're all going, wow, the Matrix really was ahead of its time in some of the stuff it was talking about. Maybe not leather coats. Those haven't come back. But certainly 2021, the decade of the metaverse, maybe.
What about techno music?
Yeah, that's sure. Yeah. And flip phones. Flip phones have come back.
That's right. They actually are back, aren't they?
The fold phone.
Well, let's see what they've got to say in what is called Deja Vu. Let's have a little watch of this.
A deja vu is usually a glitch in the Matrix.
Oh, it's a little cat.
It happens when they change.
Okay, so these are
old footage.
It happens when they change something.
Oh. So this is.
They change something.
When she's 10 feet.
It happens when they.
Why use old code to mirror something new?
Maybe this isn't the story we think it is.
So why use old code when you can make something new? And they're talking a lot about the change, a glitch. Deja vu is a glitch in the Matrix, and there's a change is coming here. So they're not changing the code. They're making a brand new code. They're making a brand new Matrix. What if they've also removed that element of what a deja vu means?
If this is all one big sales pitch for a new cryptocurrency, I'm gonna be annoyed. But this is what were our takeaways from when we watched the first trailer? Because I remember us having a theory on it's a simulation in a simulation, and maybe that's the route they go down, and Neo rediscovers who he is pretty quickly. This is in a different way, almost a meta commentary on the idea of reboots. If you are intentionally recasting characters, but that calls back to the initial casting, there were so many mirroring of the initial trilogy with this film's casting, and the sort of almost side by side. At points, it looked like the making of featurette for a special effects movie, didn't it?
Yeah, it did actually. Yeah, there was actually a point when I was watching this, be like, is this not a trailer? Have I accidentally just have I loaded up a featurette that's going to be on a different release?
Was it the bit where it sort of wiped him jumping, and then it almost looked like he was behind a green screen? Yeah. I mean, that's a really... I like... I mean, I'm a big fan of meta-narratives in movies, especially sci-fi ones. So in that regard, I'm excited about this, because I think one of the concerns about a new Matrix movie in 2021 is, will it add anything new? Or will it just be a retread of the stuff that worked? Either way, I'm happy, but ideally, I would like it to advance on something, especially if this is meant to be the start of a new series of movies.
Which we don't know. We don't know if this is a start. Like, that was just me speculating. This is well, that's it. This is the Hollywood way of working, right? It's you don't just there'll be a P creds at the end there where, like, I don't know, Morpheus shows up or something. I don't know, Nick Fury comes in, but like there'll be one of the things that I really like about this, and tying it into Spider-Man No Way From Home as well, which we get to talk about a little bit later on because you can pre-book your tickets for that, is that one of the big criticisms against trailers for the last 10 years, maybe, is they give away too much. Like, if you watch some trailers, or if you go and watch a film, then you watch the trailer, you're like, actually, I pretty much saw the entire film within the trailer, just within, 2.5 minutes, as opposed to an hour and a half or 2 hours. But we have now had 2 trailers for The Matrix Resurrections. We had 2 trailers for Spider-Man No Way From Home. And what we have got is questions. What does this mean? What do you think that could possibly be connected to? Do you think they're going to do this? And that's a good thing, right? Like, particularly for The Matrix. We're going into The Matrix 4, Matrix Resurrections, and I really don't know much about it, other than it stars Keanu Reeves, and it stars Carrie-Anne Moss, and it's set in The Matrix. That's about all I know. And that, to me, is quite exciting.
Yeah, credit to the marketing team for that, because it is... You just know the basic concept of the movie, which is Neo's woken up, he's back in the Matrix, and he has to rediscover things. And some people are in their, what they were before, like Carrie Fisher.
Carrie-Anne Moss.
I always do that.
Carrie Fisher.
Always do that.
Mate,
I nearly said Carrie-Anne Fisher. Carrie-Anne Moss.
Carrie from Sex and the City.
So, like, some people are what they were, but other than that, we don't know what way it's going to go from there. And the Wachowskis are, they are very, very visionary, brave, bold directors. Like, you look at all the stuff they've made since The Matrix, they could have coasted on that style of film, but every time they make something new, it is, the Cloud Atlas, Speed Racer. It's
Jupiter Ascending.
Jupiter Ascending. You cannot say these aren't brave filmmakers. And I don't think they would want to go back and just make the same film again. So I'm really excited. I mean, I love the Matrix franchise anyway. I'm excited to see more of the lore. And this has only made me more intrigued.
Yeah, I mean, just to echo you there, like, I think the Wachowskis are incredibly brave and bold directors. I remember when I went to the press screening of Jupiter Ascending, I saw it in IMAX. And I came out afterwards, and someone said to me, a friend of mine said, that was Star Wars The Phantom Menace meets the Super Mario Brothers movie. And I was like, that's exactly what it was. And you've got to commend a directing vision that can bring those two together. One of our big releases this week plays right into my heart. Oh, this is my wheelhouse right here. Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. I love the Resident Evil franchise. I really loved the Resident Evil series of movies that Paul W.S. Anderson made, not just because he wrote the forewords to my book, I think he's a very nice chap. I actually got a lot of love for those movies, and I actually applaud the fact that he didn't do an adaptation of the game. He sort of created his own world within that game and then went off into his own side stories and basically created nothing. There's nothing like the game at all. But that was actually what a lot of fans were upset at, was that, hey, we love Resident Evil. That's not Resident Evil. This Resident Evil movie, Welcome to Raccoon City, is basically, oh, you like those games? Well, here's those games up on the big screen. How'd you like it now? And that, to me, is very, very exciting.
What is Raccoon City? This sounds like something from the Super Mario world. Also, Raccoon
City is where like the series is set. Like the Raccoon City Police Department is the setting for the second game. The Spencer Mansion is just outside of Raccoon City, which is the place of the first one. In Resident Evil 3, you're going through Raccoon City. So yeah, like it's when you watch the trailer for it as well, and when they released the trailer for this a few months back, it was just reference. It's like if you are a Resident Evil fan, you watch that, be like, oh, okay, cool. Well, this is literally the games I love being done large up on the big screen.
And this is the first Resident Evil movie no longer under the guidance of Anderson.
That is correct. Yeah, it's the same. I believe it's like Constantine Films still, and it's the same producer and everything. But this is the first without Anderson, because he's gone off to do his own Capcom-based projects. He did Monster Hunter with Midi Jovovich last year.
Interesting. Well, yeah, it's certainly because that's like one of the longest-running video game franchise. Is it the most successful video game franchise ever?
Oh,
just so slugging away.
When I wrote my book, so when I finished the first draft of my book on video game movies, my sort of intro section about the Resident Evil series was just like how Paul W.S. Anderson took a multi-billion-dollar video game and turned it into a multi-million-dollar film franchise. By the time that book was published, I had to amend it to say how Paul W.S. Anderson took a multi-billion-dollar video game and turned it into a billion-dollar franchise.
Wow. I guess if you make enough movies, eventually you'll hit that mark.
Oh, indeed.
Impressive, though. I'd be interested to see the new direction they take it in.
Kind of similar with Boxing Day, I think, if you will, because you were fairly excited by that. Well, how else?
The zombie video game movie is kind of similar to the Love Actually British rom-com that's coming out.
Are you telling me that you don't see the connection here from my segue?
No. How? What connection?
Well, in the same way.
See a single connection.
In the same way that you mentioned there, Love Actually. We've had a few of these. New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, and all this sort of stuff. How will this film take it in a different direction?
Well, from what I've seen of the trailer, which actually caught me by surprise, I was like, okay, loaded up. Rom-com, Christmas, great. I love a Christmas rom-com. And I thought, Boxing Day, we've seen New Year's Day, Valentine's Day, and Love Actually, these compendium movies where you've got loads of different characters, loads of different stories, and you follow them separately. This one is about one storyline all the way through. It's got its central characters, and that's who it follows. It's not like jumping in between different narratives. But what stunned me is midway through the trailer, because the story is the guy and the girl, the British guy, the American girlfriend, they're going back to London for Boxing Day, which just so happens to be the day the guy's parents got divorced. So it's a charged day for him emotionally. And he's in the process of trying to propose to his American girlfriend. Anyway, they get there and they bump in to the guy's ex-girlfriend, Leanne from Little Mix.
That was the bit you were so excited about. You were like, Little Mix are in this movie. And I said, what? All four of them? Even though there's only three of them now.
Well, yeah, because we're both Little Mix fans. We think they make great pop music.
Oh, yeah.
And so when she pops up in the trailer, she's just singing in a club at the start or like on a music video set. And I was like, oh, okay, it's the standard celebrity cameo. She's not going to be anywhere else in the film. They've just put her in the trailer. No, she's like one of the lead supporting characters.
This is not your Ed Sheeran cameo that just seems to crop up all over the place now.
Is it really even a movie without an Ed Sheeran cameo? Not in 2021.
So in order to answer my question that I posed earlier, this is not your standard Love Actually compendium affair. They did take it in a different direction. Ergo, my segue worked.
No. It doesn't work.
It did.
You misunderstood what the film was about in the first place.
No, thank you very
We're
much.
not connected.
It's good to know. Good to know we're both on the same page here. Lovely stuff. Speaking of being on the same page, Dan Layton was on the same page with the stars of Boxing Day. Here's him chatting to them.
I love rom-coms. Like some of my favorite rom-coms are like My Best Friend's Wedding and Love Actually, Philadelphia Story. So I wanted to create something that felt modern and today and universal for everyone, but also reflective of the culture that I come from.
Always thought to myself, I want to get into acting, like after Little Mix. But I never actually imagined I would be in a big time film, big time superstar.
Big time superstar.
No, yeah, it's honestly, it's an actual dream. Like I still feel like I'm in a bit of a dreamland. But yeah, I definitely feel like it's something that I want to keep pursuing going forward. Like, yeah, see myself as a bit of an actor now.
Leanne's going to play Sade.
Oh, perfect. Perfect choice.
Yeah.
I very much can't wait to hear your...
Mate.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I was like, yes, I want to be a part of like love and Christmas and like, you know, enter that time honored tradition of the like romantic comedy Christmas set movie that that I've grown up watching and loving, but one that centers a Black family. So that was really important to me. And I got to be the girl, which I really love. And I've never really gotten to do that before. So I was like, this is just so instrumental for me. It was so priceless.
But if those don't tickle your fancy, you can also get tickets for Encanto, House of Gucci, the greatest sequel ever made, Ghostbusters Afterlife.
And still out in cinemas, Dune, No Time to Die, and The Eternals.
What's your pick of the week? Because I was so set on Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, but it's now December. It's December 2nd when we're recording this. It'll be December 3rd when this video is released. That is 22 days before Christmas arrives. Do I want to go and just get a real bit of festive magic in me and go see Boxing Day?
Is that your pick?
Well, that's what I'm asking you. Like, what is your pick of the week?
I was actually going to go for Boxing Day just because I feel Christmassy, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 2 days in. It's the 2nd of December as we're recording this. You can see my Advent calendar.
Oh,
back there.
I've had my eye on it ever since we started this record. I can't
the
take my
number
eyes off
15.
it.
The number 15 is printed upside down, and I love it. And this was £1. This.
Yeah.
And it's naff. It's like now the naffness is the mistakes, the printing errors are now part of the Christmas tradition. It really throws you off trying to find some numbers because you're like, oh, that's 12. Wait a second. It's just a printing error at the factory. So yeah, I'm going to go for Boxing Day too. I think it looks like a really sweet movie. And it's British.
Do you know what? Maybe I'll pick Boxing Day for next week. Maybe that'll be my next week's pick because I'm so excited for Resident Evil. So I'm going to pick Resident Evil this time round, but that's not to say that it won't be Boxing Day come next week.
They're pretty much the same film, Luke. So it's a coin toss.
It's about time you admitted it. Yeah, you're right. Where do you stand on ASMR?
It's difficult, isn't it? Because I've heard it and there's something quite relaxing about it. But you know, the people who don't know what ASMR is, it's actually just people making very delicate noises into the camera and whispering. And it's kind of soothing. It's like a massage for the ears. But other people, you know, find it disgusting to have someone's mouth and the lips smacking up so close.
You can hear like that. You can hear like all of that sort of stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know where I stand, if I'm honest. Sometimes I like it, and sometimes it disgusts me.
Well, what if I were to tell you that you could go and enjoy ASMR on the big screen?
How?
So, Cineworld will be premiering very, very soon, in fact, a 1.5 hour ASMR style feature length movie in 12 Cineworld locations, as well as premiering on Cineworld's YouTube channel this coming Monday.
Whoa. I've got to be honest. You know me, I dabble in the woo-woo sometimes. And one of the more relaxing things I've done this year is a sound bath. And it's just kind of like, you lay down and you close your eyes, and for an hour there's someone just hitting cymbals and those bowls that go wow. And it feels nice. It's like you're getting a massage on your brain with no one touching it. Although the lady who was doing it occasionally went, yeah. And that took me out of it. I started to laugh and everyone else was like super serious. But yeah, I think I've seen some cinemas do like album listens where everything's in the dark and you just listen to the album on these amazing sound systems. So actually, as a meditative experience to just kind of chill out, going to an ASMR screening in a giant room like that with the best possible sound system, close your eyes, switch off, I bet that is super relaxing.
Not only that, it's free.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can book this online. The link is in the video description down below, the podcast description. It is free. As I said, it's also premiering on the Cineworld YouTube channel and on Facebook. Let me read you a little bit about it. Venture into the weird and wonderful world of ASMR.
You've got to do this
Christmas.
like an ASMR.
Sorry. Venture into the weird and wonderful world of ASMR this Christmas. In Cineworld's Dreaming of Stars, an ASMR feature film, Malcolm McDowell lends his iconic voice to create a relaxing experience in a stressful run-up to the festive period. He said, I hope the public enjoy my dulcet tones and can use this film to take a moment to relax during a hectic day out. The film also features YouTuber Atlas ASMR, who helps audiences escape the Christmas mania by transporting them into the cinema, creating tingly sensations. You can keep all the sorries in, Rich. Creating tingly sensations with his calming voice, he guides you through a magical cinema experience.
You see, you're not a professional ASMR.
I'm not.
That was quite relaxing.
Oh, is it really? Oh, that's nice to know.
Yeah.
I felt like I was doing it. Like, my sort of intonations and stuff would how I'd be doing it if I was just reading a press release, on this show. But I was whispering it. Like, I think if you were to do it, you would have probably been a bit more. He said, I hope the public enjoy my dulcet tones and you can use the film. As opposed to me going like, he said, I hope the public enjoy my dulcet tones and you can use the film. Like, I think my intonations are slightly off, but maybe the idea is there.
Yeah, even then, it was nice.
But if you are actually ready, if you're ready for the Christmas mania and you don't need ASMR to help you escape all of this, why not get a Christmas gift for a friend of yours? Because if you spend £25 on Cineworld gift card, you will get an extra £5 gift card for free.
Whoa, that's trippy. More mind-bending than a Nolan epic. More twisty than an M. Night Shyamalan ending. More spaced out than a galaxy far, far away. Feels good, though. Weird and spacey, but really, really good. Know what else feels good? Giving a Cineworld gift card. You know what feels even better? Getting £5 back. So good. Spend £25 on gift cards and get a £5 gift card back. The Cineworld gifting range, available in the foyer or online.
And there are loads of films to use that voucher on coming out in December. Oh my God. Spider-Man No Way Home is out in like 2 weeks.
I know. Oh, I know. In fact, actually, at the time that we're recording this, I am about 24 hours away. When this video was released, I will be speaking with Mr. Tom Holland and Zendaya about Spider-Man No Way Home. And I'm tremendously excited to meet them, tremendously excited to talk to them about this movie. But hey, if you're not into Spider-Man, you can also pre-book your tickets for Steven Spielberg's West Side Story or Ollie Davis's most anticipated movie of 2021, Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Woof, 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 woof.
Where your
get in the doghouse, everybody. Let's go see Clifford together.
And in fact, actually, you can go see this film this weekend, Clifford the Big Red Dog, because we have got a special screening of the movie on December 5th with all of the proceeds going to BBC Children in Need.
That's lovely.
And if you want to get into a Matrix mood, The Matrix is being shown. The original 1999 Matrix is being shown on IMAX as of today until the end of this weekend. The Matrix on IMAX and in 4DX, but for the first time ever on IMAX.
Wow, some of those scenes. Can you imagine just like the shot where all the gun racks come towards the camera? You know, it's that big wide expanse and then whoosh, in IMAX. I love how many special event screenings there are at Cineworld this month. And even more so, I love that most of them are Christmas themed. And then sitting there is The Matrix, the ultimate Christmas movie.
Speaking of those special screenings, Nightmare Before Christmas is on next week, and this weekend sees the start of our Harry Potter marathon, showing all 8 films in December. The week after that, Elf on the 14th of December, my birthday, one of my favorite films of all time. And on the 20th of December, one of your favorite, if not your actual favorite movie ever made in its 75th anniversary release, It's a Wonderful Life.
Actual favorite movie of all time, yeah. I remembered it was your birthday last night.
Oh, yeah,
because
really?
I have been so focused on Christmas presents and Secret Santa gifts, and now I've got all my Christmas presents for my family and girlfriend. And I was like, wait a second. It's Luke's birthday on the like, what? You're going to have Elf, and then a few days later, you're going to have Spider-Man. So maybe that's my gift to you.
Very, very
Movie
exciting.
releases.
Cineworld's release schedule is my birthday present.
It's the films we watched along the way.
And of course, on the 21st of December, Die Hard is getting a special screening to really get you into that festive holiday spirit. Ho, 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 he's got a machine gun.
And there's also some event cinema ready to book as well, because we've got Christmas with Andre this weekend on the 4th of December, the CBeebies Christmas Show 2021 the night before, and a special live from Hong Kong concert, Gorillaz' Song Machine, on the 8th of December.
You can book tickets for any of those movies that we've just talked about by clicking the link in the video description down below. And hey, if you liked listening to me and Ollie waffle on, you can get extra waffle content by subscribing to the Cineworld audio podcast wherever you get your podcasts from. But that's all we've got time for this week. I've been Luke Owen.
I've been Ollie Davis.
And that's what's on.